I got 48 of my fruit trees planted last night. It took all day. All we did was just dig a hole and put them in the ground for now. I will be putting black cow or cow manure with time release fertilizer mulch around each one. It is a huge variety, as you can see. This is an Asian pear. This is one of my favorite fruit trees. I love it in the supermarket, and it's one of the more expensive fruits on the market. I got 2 of each tree. That's very important so that they can cross fertilize each other. This is a Kiefer Pear tree. And all these trees will be taken care of during the winter by having all the lower branches clipped. They will also be topped so they will produce more fruit. This is an Orient Pear, absolutely delicious. And this here is a Asian pear again. Remember, I got 2 of each tree. I just want to let you see the varieties that I have. This is a Paris pear. And I'm just going down each tree really quick. This is cherries. That's a black cherry. That's black cherry. This is Stala Cherries. It's one of my favorites. Can't find them in the store. They're absolutely amazing. You got to grow them your own if you want to have them. Bing cherries, another one of my favorites. Okay, and here's a Bing again. This tree looks beautiful. I also have coming next week pomegranates. I'm not sure what that is. It's written on it, but I'm not going to worry about reading it right now. There's the Stala Cherries. This is a Contender Peach. It's a beautiful peach, one of the better eaten ones. Peach trees need more sun, so they're planted on the sunnier side of my property. And this is Belle of Georgia peach. It's a delicious peach. I love them all, so I'm going to say everyone's delicious. This is an Elberta. And like I say, plants need to be able to cross-pollinate. This is a Redhoven Peach. You got to make sure you keep your trees trimmed properly. If you don't, they'll actually revert to being more like a wild tree. The fruit will get really small. You won't get a great crop. It'll get finished very quick. And it'll overproduce a bunch of small fruit. So it's very important that you top your trees and you keep them trimmed properly. And as you can see, another Redhoven Peach. And then I have another row over here. I have 3 rows of trees. And these are my apples. And man, I love apples. I'll do everything. This is my favorite apple. If you never ate these, it's a Winesap. This is one of the best eaten apples for me. It's better than Galas, Pink Ladies, Golden Delicious, Red Delicious. It's just the tartest and sweetest of all the apples. And here we have some Fuji apples. And here is a golden plum. And here is another golden plum to cross-pollinate. And it's very important that you put Epsom salt, about 2 handfuls around the base of your trees. That prevents a lot of your mineral deficiencies. And also, when the foliage is growing, about 2 handfuls of mineral salt and water, and you spray the foliage. These are Fuji apples, one of my favorites. Not me favorite, but one of my favorites. This is Pink Ladies. And here we have something my friend told me is absolutely delicious. I've never had it. It's an Arkansas black apple. It's almost blackish red. And they're supposed to be extremely tangy and sweet. And one of my favorites, Granny Smith. For me, this is a go-to apple. Cooking and eating. And more apple trees. And this is a Red Delicious. This is Gala. Another Winesap, absolutely one of my favorites. And the trees will all cross-pollinate each other. Having multiple different fruit trees, they help each other. And that's another pink lady. And this is a Kiefer Pear. That's something I'm going to can, like you buy in the stores, but I make my own, and they're great. And this is Elberta Peach. Orient Pear. And I got a couple more trees here. And then I have several more plum trees, which I'm going to take you to in a second. They're at the other end of the property. This is a McIntosh. And I have many other varieties of apples coming that I've ordered. I'm just waiting for them to get here. I got several more pear trees, a couple more cherries. I do have over 30 varieties of grapes. I have many varieties of blackberries and raspberries coming, including golden raspberries and red raspberries and purple raspberries and thornless blackberries and small wild blackberries. And I also have 10-year-old blueberry trees coming. Not trees, bushes. And these blueberries will produce thousands of blueberries their first year. I'm getting them in planted next week. That's another Golden Delicious. And here we have a Granny Smith. And one of my favorites. I love the dark plums. It's absolutely delicious. And we have here another dark plum for cross fertilization, but the golden plum will also fertilize these trees. They don't all have to be the same species, but it does help. Golden Delicious. And this right here is my favorite, another Winesap. Oh no, this is the Black Apple. The Winesap's on the other side. And then I have 4 more trees here. And these 4 trees are Mariposa Plum. I'm not sure if I said that right. And a Gala Apple. And a Morris Plum. And for now, the last but not least, Red Delicious Apples. I can't wait to get the rest of the fruit trees. The grapevines are, each one of these trees were planted 10 feet apart and 20 foot apart on the rows. And in each row, I will plant blueberries and my grapes. If you have any questions, or you want to share any good info about trees and how to grow them, I would love to hear your comments. Also, I was going to graft trees and make an apple have like 10 different apples on it, which works, but it only produces a variety of apples for about 2 or 3 years, and then it reverts back to whatever apple's dominant, so it's a wasted time to graft different apples or peaches on the one tree, because it will end up only being the one type of apple after a couple of years. Thank you for watching.